TTJ Tech.
Yeah! Woo! Welcome, my friends. Welcome. It is Wednesday. Another episode of iPad for All Computing coming to you from
TTJ Tech.
That's right, and I'm excited. Are you? All right, let's get it going, my friends. Oh, yeah! Oh, thank you, folks. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining us here again at iPad for All Computing, coming to you from www.ttjtech.net. Praise God. I and my family, we are so blessed. We trust you're enjoying the richness of God's blessings as well. I mean every word of that, folks. That's not something that I just say. It is genuine, and I prayed that every word that I said during this would be what he wants me to say. Now, praise God. If you are joining us from YouTube, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell. What does that mean? It means, number one, leave a like on this video. Number two, subscribe to our channel if you've not already done so. And then number three, you know you want to smash that notification bell. Because what that's going to do is keep you in the loop anytime we post a video. All right. This is going to be fun. Of course, all of these are fun, praise God. But I'm excited to share with you, and I should have come up with a sound for this. Yeah, give me just a minute, guys. I think that should be about long enough. It sure is. Let's take a look at what we've got. See if you like this one. I do. That's pretty fun, isn't it? And it's a great opportunity for us to announce what's coming up right now. What's on my iPad? Yes. So, if you've been following other tech channels on YouTube, you know that's a very, very popular trend. What's on my iPhone? What's on my Apple TV? What's on my iPad? And so on. And we're going to do the same thing in the coming weeks here at
TTJ Tech.
But since this is an iPad class, we couldn't wait to show you what's on my iPad right now. And we'll hear from the trainers in the second half to see what's on theirs. Now, before we can do that, we need to briefly talk about the App Store. I have not discussed the App Store in great length, and one of the main reasons is because I'm pretty sure most people are fairly familiar with it. But I do want to discuss the App Store just a little bit. The App Store allows people to search for and discover, then download any app they choose. There are millions of apps on the App Store, and there are so many benefits, my friends, that it's almost too numerous to even get into, but I'm going to mention a few. This is a very important thing, and it's one of those things, again, as I said before, I'm not going to get off on a rant, but I just want to share a few things. The App Store and the fact that you exclusively install apps on your iPad by way of the App Store is protecting you in a lot of ways from potentially malicious content. Every app that makes it onto the App Store has to have first been vetted. Yes, people make mistakes, but they're usually caught pretty quickly. And so all of these apps, at the very least, are going to do what they say they're going to do, and they're not going to put you or your devices, or of course, more importantly, you or your family at any kind of risk. And your data and all of that will stay secure, and private within the confines of what Apple's designed, because Apple has restricted developers to be able to do only certain things. You're also going to be able to find only the apps that apply to you. You will not be accidentally installing a Mac app on your iPad, for example. Of course, you don't have to worry about viruses or spyware. You know the apps are doing well, and there's easy, convenient methods of paying for your apps if they are paid apps. Now, many apps you'll find are completely free. Others have in-app purchases, meaning you can download the app for free, but maybe later on you want to buy an add-on or something, or upgrade or remove the ads, and then you can buy them out. You can pay a fee, sometimes a one-time fee, sometimes a subscription fee. If you use the App Store for subscriptions, all of your subscriptions are conveniently billed directly to your Apple account. And if you do decide you want to cancel a subscription, there's no need to wait on the phone for hours and have to defend yourself to somebody when they ask you 1,200 times, what can we do to keep you? Instead, it's simply a matter of going into your account options by going to settings and then tapping on your name and choosing subscriptions. And you can easily cancel or modify any subscriptions that you so choose. I love the App Store, my friends, and perhaps the best thing about the App Store is the apps. We don't want to forget about the apps themselves. We can talk about all the benefits of the App Store, but one of the greatest things is that this App Store has empowered developers to create some really awesome things that allow us to take these already amazing iPads to even new levels and new heights. I've got 5 pages worth of apps on my iPads, and I think you'll be interested in at least some of them. Now, we are, given the fact that this is not the intent here, we are not going to teach you how to use every single one of these apps. We are going to show you a few, because we've still got 2 weeks of class left, my friends, and part of that time is going to be devoted, as I mentioned before, to different types of scenarios and how you might use your iPads in the real world. But I just today want to show you about the things that are on my iPad. Most of the apps are fully accessible with VoiceOver. A few of them are not, because I do have Sighted Family, praise God, and I install some things that I know that either they'll like, or even though they have their own devices too, or that they might help me with at times. So there's a few apps like that, but I'll mention, and I know we've got some sighted folks in this class too, so you might benefit from that. Now, before we do, I'm going to just talk very briefly about I'm going to show you the App Store a little bit. Not going to get into every aspect of it. One of the other great things about the App Store is that it is sort of a community. You can kind of read the reviews from other people and see how your favorite apps are holding up. See if it's an app you even want to try. And if you have any issues, you need, to get in touch, refunds, any problems like that, you can contact Apple, and they're kind of a go-between, which is, it's always good to be able to contact the developers too, and you can, but it's nice to have that option, okay, should you need it. And typically, you won't need it. Now, the App Store is also great for app discovery. There's a lot of great things that you can just go into the App Store and see what's featured and those sorts of things. So, of course, I happen to have an iPad. I will raise the volume.
Messages. Message. Text field.
I was in messages. Okay, let's
widget stack.
Let's start out. Oh yes, and I'll tell you what widgets I have too when we start the tour. And let's start out by opening up
App Store.
The App Store.
Double tap to App Store. Today, Tuesday, May 10th. Heading.
Okay. And technically
1:33.
Technically it's Wednesday now, but I guess
1:33.
Oh, it updated. No, it didn't.
Today, Tuesday.
It probably doesn't update till Cupertino time, Pacific maybe. I never really paid attention to that. But let's swipe to the right and
My account button.
Very important button there if you need to access your account, redeem an Apple gift card or otherwise, there it is. Now across the bottom of the screen,
tab bar, game selected, today, tab, 1 of 5.
We know there's 5 tabs, the first one being today.
Games, apps, arcade, search, tab, 5 of 5.
So games, apps, arcade, and search. Arcade, of course, being specific to Apple Arcade. Some really, really high quality games there for a single price. No ads, very, very rich content, no in-app purchases. They just work, and they do. Many of them support game controllers. A lot of them can be played on all your devices, your Apple TV, your iPad, iPhone, and many of them even your Mac. Now, accessibility of Apple Arcade games is, you know, a lot of them are very, very graphical, and so that, you know, that may come, hopefully, in time. I think I know of a couple, at least one maybe, that I saw some accessibility and some promise in some others, I guess, but we'll give that time because it's a brand new service, and Apple doesn't write the games themselves, okay? They've provided the developers with all the framework they need, for sure. All right, so you have those tabs. The last one is search. Now, let's go back up here. We're in the Today,
Tuesday, My Account button.
Again, there's the My Account button.
New on Apple Arcade button. Launching this May button. Apple Arcade Warped Kart Racers button. Get button.
And there's a Get button. This Get button is what I will double tap or just tap if I don't use VoiceOver anytime I want to get another app, wherever it appears, search results or otherwise. So it's featuring some Apple Arcade content.
Coming soon. Our favorites button. iPad Essentials button. TikTok videos re-download button.
It might say re-download. Remember, App Store supports iCloud and specifically the ability for you to re-download already purchased content. So if you've purchased something on one device, you don't have to worry about how am I going to get this over to another device. You can have multiple devices, and as long as they are all signed in with the same Apple account, same Apple ID, you can download already previously purchased or downloaded apps at absolutely no cost. So it's very, very easy. A little cloud icon there. There's also a purchase history you can go into in your account. If you prefer to do it that way and see a list of everything you've purchased and re-download it. But anyway, let's keep going.
YouTube, watch, listen, stream, open button.
And this is great, praise God, because it gave me a chance to show you
New
all
York
of the different
Times.
options of
Now,
what it would
breaking
say.
news.
And this
Al
one
Jazeera said
said
one of its journalists was killed in the West Bank City.
that it was the open button.
Open button.
If you already have the app installed, it then says open.
Open button.
All right. Now,
HBO Max, stream, open. Disney Plus, open. Get started button. 5 quick tips for Sonic Forces button.
that's an article. See, I can open that article up and I can read about Sonic Forces, 5 quick tips they want to give me.
Sonic Forces, racing battle, multiplayer run and race games button. Get in-app purchases button.
That tells me there are in-app purchases. Now, let's go ahead and again remind you.
Tab bar, apps, games, apps.
You have apps, so let's go to the apps category, for example.
Selected, apps, tab, apps, heading.
Up at the top,
Our favorites, Morpholio Trace, Sketch CAD, Get, in-app purchases.
a lot of these nowadays are going to have in-app
Morpholio
purchases.
Trace,
We'll
Sketch
probably see
CAD,
occasional ones that have a fee.
Space,
But,
Morpholio, Get, new original series, Stream Candy on Hulu, A5 Night Event Series, Hulu, Watch TV series and movies, Candy, open, button. For kids, create in Disney Coloring World, color your favorite characters, Disney Coloring World. Get, in-app purchases, but new season, Amazon Prime Video vertical, re-download, editor's choice, experience the new Predagraph template, now with support for layers, Predagraph template, fashion drawing, button.
Now,
Get, in-app purchases.
you might have headings here.
Predagraph vertical headings, must-have apps, essential apps to get started, heading, top free apps, heading, popular apps, heading, entertain your kids, essential kids apps, heading, design and edit, essential creative apps, heading,
And if I want to see any of these, I can just start swiping to the right.
see all, button,
There's a see all button.
Procreate, Sketch, Paint, Create, button, open, Art Set 4, most realistic art tools, button, a group of different colored bottles on a white surface. Get, in-app Affinity Photo, open, Affinity Designer, open, Luma Fusion, Pro Video Editing and, open, SketchUp, Create and Collaborate, open, Nomad Sculpt, $14.99, button.
And you see, there's one that actually has a price on it.
Nomad Sculpt, Paint and Create in 3D, button.
Instead-
A logo on a white surface.
Instead of just saying get, it has the actual price. So again, if we want to get any of these, we just double tap on either the get button or the re-download button or the price. And then it's going to ask us to authenticate. We can authenticate with Touch ID or Face ID. And of course, at certain times, you may have to enter the password, but there are all sorts of options. Now, the last thing I'll show you about the App Store right now is just how to search. Bottom right tab, of course.
Tab bar, search.
Now go up to the top.
Search, heading, games, apps, stories, and more. Search field.
There's your edit field.
Double tap to edit.
If we go to the right, we can see recent and trended searches.
Dictate, discover, heading, house design, but games for kids, button. Scientific calculator, button.
Well, I didn't actually see recent.
Discover, heading.
Maybe not. I don't know. I have to look through the more headings. Sorry about that. But
Dictate,
here's
games, apps, stories, and more.
what I
Search
want
field.
to actually do.
Double tap to search field. Search field is editing, games, apps, stories, and more.
Okay.
Character dictate.
And now there is the ability for me to search, for any app that I want. So, for example, if I want to download Apple's Classroom app, I can just start typing or dictate,
CLASSROOM.
and then I can
Search.
hit the search
Use
button.
the rotor to access misspelled words.
And we'll find here.
Cancel. Games. Button. Management. Button. Timer. Button. Cancel. Clear text. Classroom. Search field.
It's in the edit field.
Artwork. Read down. Artwork.
Okay.
Advertisement.
Let's look at our results. Keep swiping right.
Artwork. Image. A screenshot of a web page with a group of icons and text. Browse faster with Google Chrome.
Keep going to the right.
Read Classroom. Your new teaching assistant. 1 3/4 stars. 734 ratings. Button. Re-download. Button.
And that is the
Artwork. Google Classroom. Instant. Paperless. Easy. 1.5 stars. Re-download.
Well, a lot of these don't
Artwork,
get
image,
very high
a
ratings
screenshot.
here, but I have a feeling they're better than that. Both of them I've used.
Google
So
Classroom.
if we want one of these, let's just, here's Google Classroom. I can double tap it.
Artwork. Google Classroom. Image. Search. Back button.
Now there's a back button, of course, at the top left.
Search. Back button.
As we go to the right,
Artwork. Google Classroom. Image and illustration of a green and yellow square against a white background.
what we have here is images from the app, screenshots. Sometimes there's even video. So you'll see a mute button. Let's keep
Google Classroom.
going to the right
Heading.
here.
Instant. Paperless. Easy.
And if I go to the right,
Re-download button.
there's the button that's either going to be get or re-download or, purchase price again. I double tap on that to start the process. If I want to do it, go to the right.
Share button.
We can share this app with other people.
2.1 minute ratings. 1.5
Okay, there's 2.1
button.
million ratings. Keep going.
AGE 4+ years old button.
It's good for anybody 4 years and up.
Chart 17. Number sign. Education button.
Okay.
Developer artwork. Google LLC.
You find out who the developer is.
Language EN plus 68 more.
It's available in 69 different languages.
Size 217 MB.
We learn how much storage space it's going to take up on our device.
What's new? Heading. Version history button.
There's your version history. You can go back and see all the version, revisions. But here's the release notes for the latest one. If we swipe to the right,
Version 2.2022.18203. 2T ago. Star bug fixes and performance improvements.
and it's only been 2 days since they've updated this. I want to see if they've introduced any new features since the last time we looked at it.
What's new? Heading.
So-
version history. Version history.
that and-
Heading 2.2022.14203. 1 mo to go. Star bug fixes and 2.2022.10204. 1 mo to go. Star bug fixes and performance improvements. 2.2022.102. 1 mo to go. Star bug fixes and 2.2022.062. 2.2022.022. 3 mo to go. Star bug fix 2.2021.462. 5 mo to go. Star bug fix 2.2022.062. 2 mo to go. Star bug fixes and performance improvements.
Okay, I haven't seen any new features in a while, but we can
Back button.
go back.
Back button.
Now,
Language. What's new? Version history. Version preview. Heading. Artwork. Image.
All those
no description available.
screenshots.
Friday, Artwork. Classroom.
No.
4. iPad and iPhone apps. Button.
it tells us what kind of devices this will run on, iPad and iPhone, and then here's our description.
Classroom makes it easy for learners and instructors to connect inside and outside of schools. Classroom saves time and paper and makes it easy to create classes, distribute assignments, communicate, and stay organized.
And we could keep reading that, but we're not going to. If we swipe right some more,
Google LLC developer button.
you can see more apps by that developer.
Ratings and reviews heading.
Here we can see what people are saying about the app.
See all button.
You can see all.
1.5 5 stars 12%. 4 stars, 1%, 3 stars, 1%, 2 stars.
So it appears
1%,
that
one
it's
star,
5
86,
stars.
2,133,000.
Or 1 star that are getting the most.
Star
You can rate it yourself.
Star rating, 0 stars. Use custom actions to set rating.
So we can do that.
Write a review button.
You can write a review.
App support button.
You can get app support right here. It will take you to the developer support site.
It's glitching a lot. 1 star. When I first downloaded the app, everything was working fine and clicked 1 way ago.
It was a year ago. So you get the idea here. You can read all these reviews and easily learn all about the app, how big it is, what devices it supports, when it was last updated, which I believe is a critical factor. And then you can compare that with the reviews. If a lot of people are complaining, but the reviews are like 2 years old, and the app's been updated since then, maybe you give it a try anyway, Always have to take reviews with a grain of salt.
I use Google
Now,
3
I will go back
October,
here
good.
and show you
One
if
way.
we keep going.
Good app. Google search, sir. 1 way ago. Google 1 way. All Earthling. At Mr. Google 1 way from Google.
Go past these
November
reviews.
1 star.
And then-
November app privacy heading.
We're going to get the app privacy report. You could have used headings too, it looks like.
See details button. The developer, Google LLC, indicated that the app's privacy practices may include handling of data as described below. For more information, see the developer's privacy policy.
So
Link.
these are like the nutrition labels, Keep going to the right.
Data linked to you. The following data may be collected and linked to your identity, location, contact info, contacts, user content, search history, identifiers, usage data, diagnostics, other data. Data not linked to you. The following data may be collected, but it is not linked to your identity. Diagnostics. Privacy practices may vary, for example, based on the features you use or your age. Learn more. Link. Information. Heading.
All right, more information here.
Seller, Google LLC. Size, 217 megabytes. Category, education. Compatibility, works on this iPad. Languages, English and 68 more. Age rating, 4+. Copyright Google. Developer website, button.
There's a link to the website,
Privacy policy, button.
or a button rather.
License agreement, report a problem, button. More by Google LLC, heading.
And then here's a heading with more.
See all, YouTube, open, Google Maps, re-download, Gmail, re-download, Google,
All right,
search news.
so you can see how powerful these App Store pages are. Instead of just going to the right of an app and getting it or re-downloading it or buying it, which is fine if you want to do that. But if you are in the process of app exploration, you can always double tap on the app name itself to be taken to the full App Store page for that app, for that particular app. And what's great is that it actually will show you all of this information: description, privacy report, ratings and reviews, size of the app, what age group it's, compatible, minimum age, and, the device compatibility, and a whole lot more. So this is one of the great benefits to the App Store. Again, the developer has to provide all of this information, or you'll know if they don't. Older apps may, if they weren't updated, may not have the privacy report yet, but when they do update, they have to, include that. So until that time, maybe you say, well, this app is getting old if it doesn't have that information, So there's lots and lots to consider here, and it's super easy to download an app. As you can see, you just double tap on the download button, which will take the form of either the get button or the number of the price, and then you'll have to double tap it a second time in some cases to confirm. And then you'll be asked to authenticate with your Touch ID, with your Apple ID password, with a Face ID, what have you. And then it just automatically downloads and goes right onto your home screen, right alongside all your other apps. Now I'm going to
Search, back button, search.
get out of this. I'm not going to download Google Classroom. I'm going to get out of the App Store entirely. But I did want to show you a little about the App Store because it is great and it is truly remarkable. There were the commercials years ago, and the saying is still being used as cliche and really does hold true when they say there's an app for that. And that's pretty much the way it is. There really is an app for just about anything you can possibly imagine. And what I'd like to do now is take some time to show you the apps that I have on my device. And I'll describe them for you a bit. As I said, we are, going to keep in mind that we can't, teach all of these apps, but I'm going to describe them. Now, before we get started on that, let me say a word or two about home screen layout. There are very easy ways to make folders on your home screen. You can simply drag one app on top of another. If you are a VoiceOver user, a user of VoiceOver, you can use the rotor, which is a bit easier. You can still drag one app on top of another, but it's hard to have that kind of precision, I think, whenever you don't see what you're dragging. And so you can use the rotor instead. Now, you can move apps around, and you can also create folders and then add to them. We're not going to demonstrate that right at this moment. I do believe we have a video on that on the Stir It Up with a U, STURITUP, YouTube channel from our VoiceOver In and Out class. And that's one of the reasons why we say we wanted you to have kind of a reasonable working knowledge of VoiceOver if you do need it when you take this course. If not, we will be offering VoiceOver In and Out again, most likely, this coming fall, and you can certainly get some help from us in between, even come to a help session. We have them every Tuesday afternoon at 2 p.m.
Screen
Eastern.
dimmed.
Sorry,
Hourly.
2 p.m. Eastern. It's a different Zoom link, but it is a help session that's free. Anyone can join, and so if you want to be walked through moving apps and creating folders, we're happy to do that. I've said it right now to tell you that I don't typically use a folder system on my devices. Sometimes I put my Apple Arcade apps all into an Apple Arcade folder. Occasionally, my daughter likes to share my devices, and so on some of my devices, I've made a Kylie Games folder. But typically, I don't use folders. It's personal preference. I prefer to just have my apps in an order that I like them. And if I would happen to forget, I can use Siri or the App Library or Spotlight. And plus, I could, if I wanted to, hide certain home screen pages during different focus modes. Now, I don't typically do that, okay? But either way, that's how I organize things with not using folders, just kind of putting them in an order that I like. I also want to point out that I do not use the same configurations on my iPhone as I do on my iPad. To me, they are two very different devices. I love them both, and I use them both all the time, but they serve different purposes. So, for example, apps like Grubhub and DoorDash, I may or may not have them installed on this iPad. I think actually I might. Apps like our grocery store app and some of the other apps like, for example, well, let me just grab my iPhone here because right now, my banking app for very quick banking stuff. Let's see what else I just have. There's a lot of the same apps too, don't get me wrong. A lot of them are the same, but there's some different ones. Oh yeah, some of my third-party home accessory apps like Uma for my phone, home phone and business phone system, Honeywell Home, even the Dropbox app, because I sometimes use Dropbox with our church, but I only have that on my phone. The Doctor On Demand medical app, the McDonald's app, Taco Bell, TGI Fridays, Target, Sam's Club, these kinds of apps and more, I only have installed on my iPhone. There are other apps that I only have on my iPad. And so the layout and the what's on my iPad is going to be from one of my iPads here. Now, all of my iPads are pretty much the same as each other with what they have on them. All right, so we are going to start out with page 1, and I'm not going to
page 1 of
probably name every app that's on page 1, but
messages.
I am starting out with page 1 because I want to tell you that on page 1, I have a couple of widgets. Now, I have the first widget that I have is the weather widget. It is a stack. In that stack, I also have, let's see, calendar, and reminders. So I've got 3 widgets in a stack. And they are, as I said, weather, calendar, and reminders. Next up on my page 1 are all Apple apps preloaded that we've looked at already, so I'm not going to name every single one of them for the sake of time, but I will tell you what's on my dock. I have, from left to right, Messages, Safari, Music, Mail, Calendar, Photos, and Notes, all on my dock. And then I also have the suggested apps area, of course, of 3 apps on the right-hand side. And this is the way this device was set up. I actually set this up as new. I did not restore from a backup. A lot of times I like to set things up as new because it just kind of gives everything a very fresh, clean start. And so that's what I did. And you will find that is always an option. You still get all your stuff. Now, I'd like to tell you what's on page 2, and a lot of those are still going to be Apple apps. But first, I'll tell you that I have widgets again. So here I have I've got the battery widget, and I've got the news widget, all right, for news stories, and I've got a grocery list app widget called AnyList that I will talk to you about in a little bit. So I've got a stack of 3 widgets here: batteries, news, and my grocery app that I like. Okay, on this page, though, after the widgets, we have a lot of Apple apps still here. Photo Booth, Find My, Shortcuts, Clock, Contacts, Stocks, the Translate app, Voice Memos app, the Measure app, iTunes Store, the Magnifier, and the Tips app. Then we've got Pages, Numbers, Keynote, iMovie, Apple Store, Clips, GarageBand, and Apple Support. We then have Swift Playgrounds, which is another Apple app we'll possibly talk about a little bit next week. Well, we will talk about it a little bit, possibly more than a little bit. We have the iTunes Movie Trailers app, which lets me view trailers and see what's playing at theaters near me. I have another app that we're going to have my daughter demonstrate with the Apple Pencil, and it's called Sketches School. It's a great app for drawing and sketching and so forth. All right, so that's there. Now we'll go to page 3, where I have, again, some widgets. The first widget that I have is the Maps Nearby Places for Apple Maps. And that's the only widget that I have on there. On this page, then, I have the Apple game called Texas Hold'em. It is made by Apple, and it is accessible. I don't know how to play Texas Hold'em, but I got it because why not? All right, next up is YouTube. Then we have Yelp, OpenTable, Fandango, the movie app. In case you don't know, I should probably be saying what some of these are. Yelp, of course, kind of extends, and we talked about Yelp and OpenTable when we demoed Apple Maps, because they sort of extend the functionality to get more information about businesses near you or in other places. And OpenTable, of course, for restaurant reservations. Fandango is for movie tickets and movie showtimes and things of that nature. The Starbucks app, you can order my coffee. And I keep a Starbucks card, digital card in here with a balance on it, although I can also use Apple Pay. Next, I have the Wikipedia app. There are 2 Wikipedia apps. One is called Wikipedia. It's the actual sort of, I don't know if you'd say endorsed one or not. The other one is Wikipanion, and I don't have that one installed right now, but I used to a long time ago, and I hear really good things about it. I got this one because it's the official one, and it works just fine. I would recommend it. Siri is able to use it to, provide you additional information very quickly, so I recommend it. It's the Wikipedia app. Wikimedia Foundation, I guess. Here's my AnyList app. It's a great grocery app made by Purple Cover, a fantastic app for keeping track of all of your groceries. It has Siri integration. It also integrates with Google Assistant and Alexa. It also works with some grocery stores online for instant online shopping. It works fantastically with VoiceOver. You can have multiple lists. You can have, of course, list syncing across devices. And for that, it actually uses its own syncing service, but you can sign in at no cost and use it. There is a paid annual upgrade, which doesn't enable a different, I don't know, what all does it enable? It, I think, enables the Apple Watch app if you want to use any list on your Apple Watch. It enables, maybe that's when you get multiple lists. Maybe you're limited to one list. I don't remember anymore. This app also does recipes, although I have a different app for that. But it's a great grocery list app and one of many, many choices. One of the ones I do like. Just works very well. It has a very nice, also, by the way, persistent inventory, so that if you are manually typing items on your phone or iPad or whatever to enter, it will find them. You can maybe type just CHI and it'll show you chicken nuggets, chicken patties, chicken breasts, chicken canned, chicken, all sorts of different options. So the persistent inventory is very outstanding in this app. All right. Next is my recipe manager, Paprika 3. Paprika 3 is a great, well, it's actually called Paprika Recipe Manager 3. It also has cloud syncing. It also has it actually does have a grocery list feature. But again, I prefer to use separate apps for each of those things. It has great timers. It has recipe, meal planning, nutrition values, ingredient substitutions, recipe scaling. So, if your recipe says it makes 8 servings and you're going to be having 16 people over, you can automatically scale that up or down. The app does also support, as I said, recipe syncing. You can also share recipes in other ways. And it not only does it allow you to enter your own recipes, but it also has a built-in web browser which easily parses data from recipes online from websites like Food Network and All Recipes, for example. And so you can find recipes and easily import them into your personal collection in Paprika Recipe Manager 3. It is a great app. Okay, next up, the SiriusXM app. I do like that app. All right, now I have the Bible app by Life Church, also known as YouVersion, a great Bible app. I can read the Bible here. I can, I love their daily devotionals. I love, a whole bunch of devotionals you can choose from. You can have multiple translations. I love to compare things with different versions, and we can do all of that. We have audio. We have a verse of the day. It's a great Bible app. Next up is another couple of recipe apps, the Epicurious recipe app and the Tasty app. All right. Now, next up is Food Network Kitchen, Food Network in the Kitchen, also a recipe and cooking app. Now we have an app called Home Design. I think this might actually be called Home Design 3D, if I'm remembering its full name correctly. It is available right here on my home screen. I have an app called Brushes, which is a great app for painting. And again, this is probably not, what you think of as the most accessible. I'll be honest with you, I haven't really played with the Home Design one in a very long time, actually, if at all. I got it, and then I just never really did much with it. So I'll have to do that and give you a report on it. Brushes, yeah, very visual because, all the colors and everything. And that is a painting app. And then while we're at it, we have Art Studio Pro. These are two of the oldest, but still constantly updated iPad apps for drawing, by the way. As a matter of fact, Brushes was demonstrated on stage when the iPad was first introduced back in 2010. So it's kind of neat to have these. All right. Now, Procreate, which is another one my daughter's going to demo. So here we've got, again, some photo apps, drawing apps. Procreate is, drawing, sketching, designing. And here's Pixelmator and Pixelmator Photo. So Pixelmator is a photo editing and drawing app. Pixelmator Photo is a really high-quality photo editing app. Here's Affinity Photo, which is also going to be a photo editor, very, very powerful. And now I've got to go to my next page. It looks like I've got HGTV Go installed there also, which just landed there because I must have deleted something and reinstalled it or something. And yeah, I don't really need those because I use my TV provider app, but I did have that one. Here on the next page is the TV widget. It shows me what is playing right now. It happens to tell me that the Phillies and the Mariners are playing live. It would also tell me what's up next. And there is another widget in that stack. There are two more. There's the music widget. Shows me what I'm playing most recently. And there is the photos widget with memories and things of that nature. Okay, now, next up, my apps on this page are starting with, well, this is actually where Affinity Designer was. And I already mentioned, oh, no, I didn't. So Affinity Designer is a design app, kind of like Affinity Photo, all right? And Affinity, in case you are looking this up, is actually, well, I don't have it here. I'd have to look it up. But let's, I could look it up, right? I could just go to the App Store, and I could look at it this way, or share the app. Okay, let's see. See the name here. It's called Affinity Designer, which is spelled it's AFFINITY. You have Affinity Photo and Affinity Designer by Serif Labs. SERIF Labs. Okay, so anyway, after that, what we have is Luma Fusion. I love Apple Clips and iMovie, but I did get Luma Fusion because it's kind of the next level up in video editing if you need it. Typically, you don't need it. All right, but I do have it. And then Ferrite Recording Studio, Ferrite, Ferrite Recording Studio, an audio editing app that I use for certain things. Mostly I use GarageBand, but certain things I use Ferrite. Backpack Studio, podcasting and recording, including having, your live streaming and having your remote interviews, people, joining you from something else, somewhere else on another device. You can input your sound effects. So as we're recording, I can insert a sound anywhere that I might want to. Okay, that's enough of that. So you can see how that all works. Now, let's look at what else we have here. That was Backpack Studio. Next is the Zoom app. I wonder what that's for. And we all know about Zoom. Now I get into my TV apps. So, other than the regular TV app, which was on page 1, the Apple TV app, but here we happen to have DirecTV Stream, one of my favorites, HBO Max, Disney Plus, Peacock, Discovery Plus, Netflix, Hulu, and it looks like on this device that's all. I thought I might have had ESPN Plus, but that is on our Apple TV, and maybe one of my iPads, but not this one. Okay. Now we get into a few Google apps, not too many, but I have the Google app in case I want to do some quick searches with a widget. It gives me some additional notifications that I like. There are some cool things there. The Google Home app, which is how cancel, which is how I manage my Google Assistant devices like Nest Hubs and the Nest Doorbell and things of that nature. And then the Google Assistant app, which kind of supplements that, and they sort of feed off each other. All right, now we've got the Walmart app, the Amazon app for shopping. Here's an app called Smule, which is the karaoke singing app. You can sing along to your favorite songs, record yourself, share your sing-along karaoke sessions. Here's a game called Jeopardy! We're familiar with that. Here's Millionaire. It's Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, basically. So trivia games. Here's the couple that my kids play sometimes, the Fair Food Maker. You make food on there, fair type of food, carnival type of food. Here's the Sprinkle app, water splashing, firefighting fun, I think it said. So that was another game my kids sometimes used to play, sometimes still do play. Granny Smith is another one also. All right, we're on page 5, and we're going to start with a Yelp widget, which is stacked with an Open Table widget and a Fandango widget. Yep. Now, then we're going to get into the... Okay, that's a pretty big widget. Okay, here I do have an Apple Arcade folder. It's got 14 apps in it. I will tell you what they are in case you are not a VoiceOver user and you're an Apple Arcade or Apple One subscriber and want to try some. These are the ones that I really, really think are the best. We've got probably even more than that on our Apple TV, which is one of the best ways to play Apple Arcade games or games in general, but I do have some on my iPad. All right, here's a game called Real Myst, M-Y-S-T. Also very visual, but very fun. And then we have a game called 5 Second Guess. This is accessible. I love this game. You'd be surprised how hard it is to name, for example, 3 summer fruits in 5 seconds or less. And it's a lot of fun to play that game. It is accessible. My daughter and I love to play it. Here's Heads Up, which is also a fun game. And Sketch Party, which works with the Apple TV. It's kind of like win, lose, or draw. Here's a game called X-Plane, which is very visual, but it's like a flight simulator. One of the best flight simulators of that around. And it is available on iPad. X-Plane from Lemina Research. Here's the Geekbench 5 app, which allows me to, benchmark test my devices, iPad and otherwise. Now, here I've got Facebook and the Meta Business Suite. I have an app called Canva, which is a designing app. An app called Sketchbook, Logo Maker, and Adobe Fresco, also, which are, very visual design sort of oriented apps. Then I've got the New York Times, the New York Times Crossword, and NYT Cooking. This is, I am a subscriber to those. Even though I love the Apple News app, I do have the New York Times as well. So I get the full edition of the New York Times delivered right to my iPad. I have a Hangman game that I think my daughter put on here. Maybe. And here's a calculator app. Here's the Venmo app. And here is an app that I got for my kids because my son was using it in school. It's called SketchUp, and I wanted him to try it. It's just been released. It was featured on the introduction of the iPad Air alongside the iMovie app. And I think there may have been another one, I can't remember, but it was talked about anyway. Maybe not featured, but it was discussed. Now, that is going to complete the list of apps that I have on my iPad. We're going to hear from the trainers in a little while. They will share with you what they have on their devices. And I will also tell you that basically this is the app workflow that I have. There are a couple apps that I might have on one iPad that I don't have on another, but most of them are the same. And then my iPhone has its own configuration with a few of the same and other different apps, and of course Apple TV and so forth as well. So it is very important to me to have them organized in a way that I like them. That organization does get backed up if I would so choose to restore from an iCloud backup. I can easily do that. So a lot of apps here on my iPad. Now, that will be the first part of our discussion for today, but we've got something else for you very exciting in just a moment. Now, one of the things that's really cool to do once you've looked at these apps and looked at the whole list of apps that we may have is to start exploring individual apps and see if we can help you to learn some of them. We love teaching apps because it's so great to find accessible apps, praise God, that meet these patterns that are easy to follow. Maybe even some that don't necessarily meet the same patterns, but which you can still learn and still make great use out of. And one of the apps we're going to talk about today has actually been through its paces, originally being preloaded on the first iPad all the way through to the end of the iOS 5 life cycle, when it was removed in iOS 6 in favor of a native app released by the developer itself. We're talking, of course, about YouTube. YouTube is one of my favorite apps and definitely one of my kids' favorite apps. Probably one of the most popular video sharing platforms out there now. It's hard to say where it would rank compared to something like TikTok or, one of these others, but certainly it's got to be up there. Owned by Google, you can watch just about anything on YouTube that you possibly want. From last year's Apple event to how to cook a steak, how to make pie, how to install a thermostat, how to change the oil in your car, somebody unboxing a product. The list goes on from the awesome to the hilarious, and even to some that I wouldn't watch and my family wouldn't watch, but you got to just be careful. There are those things out there too. But it's a fantastic platform, that aside. And really and truly, it is just a great time when you're just sort of relaxing. And by the way, my kids have their own YouTube channels, and they've actually uploaded a couple things. And of course, we here upload things as well from
TJ Tech.
Now, I'm going to show you how to use this app, and then I'm going to show you how to upload if you are interested, because we've already shown you how to use Apple Clips and iMovie to create stunning videos. You can create quick, simple videos and clips. You can add posters and music and emoji and all sorts of stickers and everything. And then, of course, in iMovie, you can use Magic Movie to take photos from your library and create an almost instant video. You can use Storyboard to get a great template for trailers, for cooking tutorials, for product reviews, science projects, and a whole lot more. Or you can use the timeline-based method to create your own video from scratch. But you've gotten these excellent videos now. What do you do with them? How do you get them out there for the world to see? Well, of course, you can email them. You can send them by iMessage. You can post them to, Facebook. You can share them in iCloud, which is a great way, through iCloud Photos, of course, and save them to your own library, AirPlay them on Apple TV, and a whole lot more, or just use Apple TV once they're in your library, right? Because, praise God, we got iCloud. But how do you get the rest of the world to see them? And the answer is YouTube is a great way to do it. So we're going to show you a little about this app. Now, when you first open YouTube, you may not be prompted to sign in, but I'm going to tell you that the best way to use the YouTube app is definitely to sign in. It's free. If you don't already have a Google account, you can create one by going to Settings and then going to Mail, for example, going to Accounts and adding a Google account. It will walk you through signing in, but if you don't have one, you can add one by creating a brand new gmail.com email address. And your Gmail account is your Google account, which is your YouTube account. All right? So if you've already got a Gmail account, just sign in with that Gmail address. If your Gmail address, however, happens to be a managed address from I don't know if that's the term Google uses, but like a school district email address, a domain-specific email, or something like that, we don't recommend using it. We recommend you creating your own personal one instead. All right. Now, where do you sign in? Because it's not immediately apparent. So I'm going to show you that. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to launch the
Page 3 of 5.
YouTube
Adjustable.
app.
Hold M. YouTube. 322 new items.
I've got some
Double
notifications here,
tap to open.
but all right.
YouTube video player.
Oh,
Collapse.
I got to go back. Okay. At the
vertical 6 home tab.
There we go. fresh start. At the bottom, we have several tabs across.
Library, tab.
Let's go back.
Explore,
Okay.
selected. Home, tab. 1 of 5. Explore, create, tab. Subscriptions, tab. Library, tab. 5 of 5.
All right. We're not going to talk about all of these, but home, we're going to spend some time in. Create, obviously, is where you upload your videos. Subscriptions lets you manage and view videos from all of your channels you're subscribed to. And library allows you to view your watch history, your liked videos, and other personal playlists that you create or have subscribed to as well. So, now, here's what we're going to do. We're going to be in the Home tab right now. We're going to go up to the top left of this screen.
Cast button.
There's a cast button.
Play on TV or speakers.
Yep, so you can play YouTube's content on TVs or speakers. It does support both AirPlay here and Chromecast, so your Apple TV, but other devices as well. You can also use screen mirroring or AirPlay playback destination from the control center.
Notifications. Over 9 unseen items. Button.
Those would be like if someone uploads a video that you follow, someone comments on a video you uploaded, people subscribe to your channel, and so on.
Search. Button.
There's a search button, very important button. We're going to be doing a lot of YouTube searching, right? We like to do that. All right, go to the right.
Your account. Button.
There's the button you're going to double tap if you want to sign in. And what's going to happen when you double tap is you're going to get a message as you start swiping to the right that'll say something like you're not signed in. Sign in for the best experience or something like that. But you know what it's not going to do? It's not going to look like a button, and it's not going to show you any buttons. It's not going to tell you where to go to sign in. How do you know where to go to sign in? And the answer is the rotor is your friend in this app. When you get to that thing that says you are not signed in, sign in to YouTube for the best experience or something like that, whatever the verbiage is exactly, it will have a rotor option if you swipe up or down to sign in. And so that's what you're going to want to do is swipe up or down until you hear sign in, double tap, and then it will allow you to use that Google account you've already got or recently created. Sign in, and you're going to be good to go. All right, so the first thing we'll do is we'll look at our Home tab here. It's kind of customized to sort of feature videos that are similar to ones I've already watched recently, so...
Tucker is T-Mobile. New to you. Recently uploaded. Gaming. But live.
You got all that stuff, but I like to go past that. So the top left.
Cast. Notifications. Search. Your account. Button.
Any farther than that, I like to lift my hand and touch the right side of the screen.
New to you. Button. Watched. Button. Send feedback.
So you can see your watched videos, all these things. Now keep going.
Is T-Mobile home internet worth it? 4 things to know before you sign up in 2022. 5 minutes. 9 seconds. Go to channel. Michael saves. 5.3K views. 1 day ago. Play video. Button.
Lots of information that you get by just listening to the video. That when it was uploaded, how long it is, how many views it's had, who uploaded it, and of course the title of it. If you want to swipe up and down on it, you have rotor actions.
Go to channel.
You can go to the channel of the person who uploaded this video.
Action menu.
There's an action menu.
Activate. Default.
And activate, of course, plays the video. But let's see. Action.
Action menu.
What do we have?
Save to watch later. Save to playlist. Button. Share. Button. Not interested. Button. Don't recommend channel. Button. Dismiss.
We'll dismiss that. All right, lots of good information there. You can save it. You can add it to a playlist, share it with other people, and so on.
Voice
All
of
right,
the
as I
Covenant
continue
Tucker
to
is T-Mobile
swipe
Tucker.
right, I will see
Karen
other
Jean-Pierre
videos.
Note, Voice of the Covenant Bible Study. Apple Special Event 2014. iPhone 6 and iPhone 6 Plus Introduction. Sun Behind Large Cloud. Unboxing iPad 9th Gen 2021. Silver plus Apple Pencil Alternative plus Accessories Vertical Line Malaysia. 11 minutes. I bought every piece of tech from Five Below. 19 minutes. Go to channel. Sarah Dietschy. YouTube movies. Recommended movies. Button.
Now, there's a section here of recommended movies that I can probably pay to watch the entire thing. And I'm going to skip that by going to a 3-finger scroll up.
Page 3 of 5.
I still might be on. I'll kind of touch lower, middle, right of the screen.
Steve Jobs
Okay.
in vertical scroll bar.
I'm going to go to the left.
Why Windows 90? Why Pat Gutfeld? Aha. The 5. More human remains. New details emerge.
If I go left further,
Son of 4. Jim Pillen. Oral history.
I'll eventually get back to the buy or rent from the last YouTube movie they want to
Top
recommend.
Shapiro. God's not dead. God's not dead. Bio rent.
Okay, so we go to the right.
Teen fashion of the 1960s. Life in America. 6 minutes. 3 seconds. Go to channel.
Another video that it recommends for me.
Top Shapiro moment. What Elon Musk said about Jesus Christ. How to land an aircraft without engines. Top 10 tips and tricks for Apple TV 4K in 2022. Oral history. Glenn Lundy. 1 hour, 39 minutes. Go to channel. Space oral history. Top
So
10
all of
tips
these
and tricks for
videos
Apple
are
TV
things
4K
that they think I might
2022.
like.
9 minutes.
And,
1 second. Go to channel.
see.
Apple Delicious. 21 kV. Top news.
There's
Body kit. More
some
actions.
news videos again that they intersperse in here, but I can go to the
Son
right.
of Climate new detail. More the 5 Aha. Gutfeld. Pan Am training video. Upgrade. Circa mid 1980s. Why pay more? iPad 9 versus Galaxy Tab S. Ben Shapiro why Windows 95 was a BIG deal. Mary Hart. Smoking sheetrock her profit vertical line Jesse Duplantis. I will be exposing Patrice Cult. Watch the full on-camera shouting match between behind the Mac. Skywalker sound vertical line Apple. How does GarageBand for iPad work tutorial for beginners?
Okay,
30
so
action
all of
video.
these
How
videos,
does GarageBand
all right, and
for
we'll
iPad
stop
work
there,
tutorial
but
for
they will
beginners?
keep recommending,
36 minutes.
and anything that I want to watch, right? Anything that I want to watch. So, we recently talked about GarageBand. I just saw a GarageBand tutorial featured here.
Behind the Mac.
And
Watch the
if
full
I want to,
How does
I
GarageBand for
can
iPad work tutorial for
double
beginners?
tap it. I don't know how
36
long it
minutes.
is, 36
Go
minutes,
to
so we're not going to
channel.
watch the whole thing
Robert
together.
Weimer,
But
90
I don't know this particular YouTuber, but I'll just double tap the video. We'll get a little sample. Oops. Whoops. I forgot the AirPods, guys. Woo! Well, that gives me a good chance to point out a couple of little tidbits before we start. Because when I do start watching the video, it's going to be harder for you to hear me. So let me point out a couple things first. In fact, I have the video paused. So praise God, I'll just show you. All right. When you start playing your video, you might get an ad. And if you do, you need to go about halfway down the screen on the left-hand side and start swiping left until it says selected skip ad. I'll demonstrate that, I'm sure, here in a couple minutes. But at the top left when the video is playing,
Wednesday, May 11th. Video player. Heading.
that button toggles you between a full screen view of the video you're currently watching and a minimized video that drops down to like the bottom right of the screen and reveals the rest of the YouTube app. So we are in full screen right now. To the right,
Collapse video. Button. Video will be paused and available on the bottom right of the screen.
so you can do it that way as well.
Autoplay is on. Button.
Okay.
Double tap to toggle setting.
I can change that if we don't want autoplay to start another video immediately after this one.
Cast. Button.
There's the,
Captions. Button. More actions. Button.
let's look at more actions together.
More action. YouTube. Quality. Auto. 720p. Button. Captions. Off. Loop video. Off. Report. Button. Help and feedback. Button. Playback speed. Normal. Button.
You can change the playback speed of the video.
More from Robert Weimer. Button.
More from this this YouTuber. I can go to their channel, I guess.
Dismiss.
Or at least see what,
Double tap to dismiss.
more things. So that's
Video.
the more actions button. Let's keep going.
More action. 58 minutes. 6 vertical scroll bar.
Sorry, guys.
Video. 58 minutes. 6 seconds. How to create a song in GarageBand iOS for beginners. 19 minutes. 16 minutes. 14 minutes.
These are other recommended videos that they think that I'd like. Now, if
42 minutes.
you want to get to the controls for this video, don't just keep swiping. It's going to be a lot harder than using your muscle memory. What I recommend, and I might try to find out exactly where it is for you by continuing to swipe, but I'm telling you, it's going to be a lot easier if you lift your hand. Go to the top left where it says video player.
Video player. Heading.
Now, lift your hand. Stay on the left-hand side of the iPad. Put your hand along the left side. Oh, and I say left side, I'm in landscape mode, of course, here. So kind of where, if you're in this mode, I would have my charge port is to the left. Slide your hand down about halfway. And on the iPad Air that I've got here, there's two little, if you feel the edge of the iPad below the screen, two little ridges that you can feel. I'd say right about smack dab halfway between the two ridges, and then move your finger over to the right and touch. Now, I normally don't use those ridges, so we're going to see how close that brings me, but I think that's about where we want to be. About halfway down the left-hand side of the screen, touch near the left.
2 seconds elapsed of 36 minutes. Button.
And you are
Double tap for remaining time.
in the controls for the video. So if you swipe to the left,
Track position, 2 seconds of 36 minutes. Adjustable.
And this,
Swipe up or down with one finger to adjust the value.
that is a scrubber. Okay, so if I want to jump ahead in the video,
12 seconds of 20 seconds, 30 seconds of 36 minutes.
I'm just swiping up. I can swipe back down.
10 seconds, less than a second of 36 minutes.
Okay, we're back to the beginning, basically. I can swipe left again.
Next video, button. Forward 10 seconds, button. Play, button.
So you can play and pause there. You can also magic tap to pause, but not always to resume. Sometimes it works, and sometimes, in my experience, it doesn't. I prefer to find the play button. You can use the forward 10 seconds to skip ahead.
Forward 10 seconds,
And
button.
to the left.
Play, button. Rewind 10 seconds, button.
Let's go to the left again.
Previous video, button.
And again.
Vertical scroll bar, 6 pages. Previous video.
That's about as far as you're going to get. This might actually be, it's quite possible this is a container.
14 minutes, 50.
I'm going to have to look later, but
Video player. Track position. Forward. Next video.
go back to the right and you'll see the scrubber again.
Track position. Less than a second of 36 minutes.
And then some other things you might like.
Less than a second elapsed of 36 minutes. Button.
That's just
Double tap for remaining time.
the timeline, and you can toggle between seeing what's elapsed and what's remaining.
Full screen. Button.
Swiping to the right again, there's your button to take the video full screen.
How does GarageBand for iPad work tutorial for beginners? 98,908 views.
I don't think there's any actions.
Cap H.
Nope, that's just the name.
Hotel.
Swipe to the right.
Expand description. Button.
So if I want to hear the detailed description of this app, I can double tap to expand that and swipe left and right to read it, or tap and explore by touch to read it. I tend to think it hides again after a few minutes, but it does show if you double tap on expand description.
Like this video along with 961 other people. Button.
Now, we've told you to leave a like on our videos. That's how you do it. You find the like button. It says like this video along with, and it tells you how many others have done it. And then to the right,
Dislike this video.
you
Button.
can dislike it. And then again,
Share. Button.
you can share the video. This is how you will easily share the video with anybody you want to by messages, mail, copying the link, whatever.
Download. Button.
All right, there's a download button. I thought you had to have YouTube Premium to download for offline. I don't have it, but even if you do, this doesn't mean what you might think. It doesn't mean that you actually are going to end up with a file that is the video. It just means it's going to store it in the YouTube app offline so that if you happen to be in an area without Wi-Fi or cellular, you can still watch the video.
Save to playlist. Button.
You can save it to a playlist, so you can create playlists, and then in this screen, when you hit this, it'll allow you to create playlists, and it'll allow you to also choose from one of your existing ones, to my recollection. And so you can pick the one you want to save it to.
Robert Weimer, 14.6K subscribers. Button.
That button is where you will double tap to be taken directly to that person's channel, okay? So if I want to see what else he has uploaded, I just double tap that. And over here,
Subscribe to Robert Weimer. Button.
there's the button to subscribe right next to the YouTuber's name.
Comments. 84.
Now I'm in the comments section. I can read what people are commenting about. Let's see.
Robert Weimer. Capar.
Nope, there's no rotor actions on
Romeo.
any of that, but
Subscribe to Robert Weimer.
there's
Button.
the subscribe button if I wanted to do that. Now let's go back here and actually play a few seconds.
Video player. Track position. Neck forward play. But pause.
Hey everyone, Robert here, and I wanted to do this quick overview and tutorial over GarageBand, the app for iPad. And I'm going to give you a general overview of what this whole thing is about, because this app is so monstrous with all of the capabilities that it has.
That's true.
I'm not going to be able to cover everything in this tutorial.
Play.
All right, I might go ahead and like this video.
Neck track 20 full screen 26 seconds elapsed of 30 full. How does Garage expand? Like this video along selected. Like this video along with 961 other people.
And it tells me it's selected. And let's go ahead to Robert's channel and see what other kinds of stuff he's uploaded.
Download. Save to Robert Weimer.
Now,
How does GarageBand
first thing you'll notice at the top left
play button
is
back button
a back button to get back to the previous screen. If you somehow lose focus of that, you can always two-finger scrub, or you can tap on your status bar and then double tap with VoiceOver to scroll to the top, because sometimes if you're not at the top, you don't see the back button. This is the back button that will take me back from Robert's channel back to the list of, or to the video, I guess, that I was watching. Let's go to the right.
Robert Weimer heading Cast button. Search button.
Now we get into some tabs here.
More actions. Selected. Home. Tab 1. Videos. Tab 2 of 6. Playlists. Tab Community. Channels. About. Tab 6 of 6.
So apparently he has different channels. He's got a community here. He's also got the About tab. We can see what, they've put about it, what he's put about himself, but we want to see his videos. He's got playlists too, I guess.
Videos. Tab 2 of
Double tapped on
back
that.
button.
Start swiping right, and you're gonna
select play about. Tab 6.
Now this is important. Swipe to the right.
Date added. Newest button.
You can change the sorting.
Double tap to select this drop-down element.
Right. So I can see the oldest videos first if I want to. Right now it's sorted by the newest videos first. You might also be able to sort by other things. I'm not sure. Maybe popularity and so on. Let's just leave it as is. It's sorted by date added. Newest first. Swipe to the right.
Vision from God. Attack on this country. If you're a Christian and you suffer from any of these, this is what generational curse is actually. What is deliverance ministry? The Nephilim were not giants. How to zoom and pan in Camtasia on a Mac. 1 minute, 36 seconds. Demon-possessed woman demonic rat. How do you know if you have demons
That's interesting because it looks like
things evil spirit?
he's got multiple topics here. And so probably if you wanted a playlist...
Disney Plus Moon Knight. Associative identity. Go to how to talk about Jesus without sound. The Rapture.
Now you could go to the playlist tab.
Things Disney.
And maybe he's
what is
put his
community playlists tab.
Maybe he's put his videos into different playlists.
Community.
I've never looked at this channel before, but
about created playlists. Heading.
Let's see what he created.
Prophetic and dreams from God. 10. Robert Weimer. Updated 6 days ago.
So he's got 10 videos in that one.
Deliverance Ministry. Eric Whittaker's Virtual Choirs. 5. Final Cut Pro X Tutorials. 3. Robert Weimer.
Wow, he's even got...
videos.
Whoops, I didn't mean to do that.
Alert.
Maybe I have heard this name. I'm not sure. Maybe I have heard the name Robert Weimer. I'm just not sure right now, but you can still...
Eric Whittaker.
He's got Final Cut Pro tutorials.
Final Cut Pro X tutorials, plus 26 more.
And apparently 26 more playlists that I can see. Now I'll go back.
Back button. Back.
All right, and now
Cast
I am on the
Play on TV
list of videos. Again, this is my home tab. So now what if I'd like to search for something specific? So
selected all button.
I'll do a
home angle.
4-finger single tap near the top left.
Cast button. Note search button.
Swipe right to the search button.
Search field is editing. Search YouTube. Character mode. Insertion point at start.
And what do I want?
Use the rotor to access misspelled words.
All right, let's just search for something. I mentioned we'll do a food one and we'll do a tech one. So let's say a food item. We want to make homemade tamales or enchiladas. How about
cap O.
Oops.
O cap cap H cap O T up space M A K E space H O E.
I'm going to put homemade enchiladas because
home.
I imagine that if I didn't, I might get other results.
Space N H.
I don't know. It's hard to say.
A-D-A-S.
And I hit search. My search results, again, best way to find them is kind of near the top, closest to the right.
Did you mean how to make homemade enchiladas?
Maybe I spelled it wrong.
How to make homemade enchiladas. Link. Enchilada recipes. Easy Mexican recipes. How to make homemade.
Let's hit that. I might have spelled it wrong. I'll look later.
Beef enchiladas vertical line. Easy enchilada sauce recipe vertical line. How to make cheesy baked enchiladas. 13 minutes. 4 seconds. Go to channel. Simply Mama Cooks. 2.7 M views. 3 years ago. Play video button.
All right.
More actions. Beef enchiladas.
That looks like the first one because when I swipe left, it said more actions.
Chicken enchiladas recipe. Beef enchiladas vertical line. Go to channel.
That one looks good.
Activate default.
Let's play it.
Playing advertise video.
Oh, there's an ad. Touch near the middle left of the screen.
Video player. Beef enchilada ad in vid playing advertisement.
Okay, again, actually lower left. Lower left.
Beef enchilada ad full ad info. Video will play after ad.
There's no skip ad button. It's too short. But that's where it would be if it were. It would count down, but it's telling me. All right. Here we go.
Okay. To get started, I am going to use 1 pound of lean ground beef. This is extra lean ground beef, so it's a 93:7 ratio. Okay, so I'm also going to be using a half teaspoon of ground cumin. You can adjust the ratio of these seasonings and spices. I'm also going to use a half teaspoon of salt,
Track
a
net
quarter
forward
teaspoon
pause
of cracked
button.
black.
Play.
And I got to tell you, I'm going to like this one too.
Net 30 ingredient full screen button.
look at this.
Ingredients button.
There are
Double
chapters.
tap to see a list of chapters.
There are chapters in this video. The one currently selected is ingredients. I'm going to swipe to the right to the like button first.
Beep expand hashtag simply Mama Cooks button.
They've also got hashtags here.
Like this video along with 66,000 selected. Like this video along with
I
66,000.
might take a look at her channel later too. But let's go to the left and I want to show you the chapters.
Beef and hash expand.
The video
Beef
didn't
and
have that.
Full screen ingredients button.
Double tap. And I can jump.
Chapters heading.
I can jump directly to whatever chapter I want now.
Close button.
Close it if I don't want to.
Intro 0. Bowl. Share button. Ingredients 0, 10. Bowl. Share. Cooking the ground beef 0, 51.
So if I want to jump to that, I just double tap it.
Cooking the ground beef 0, 51.
Now I
Ingredient share. Intro close.
close and I go back to play.
Video track at net forward play button pause.
Okay, so here I have a preheated skillet that I put a little bit of oil in, and I'm going to start by sauteing the onions.
All right, we will collapse the video, but you should really pause your videos before you collapse them because if you don't, they might keep playing.
I'm
Watch.
actually testing this
video.
recipe and
enchiladas
tweaking it a little bit because I am
Okay,
going to
so I double tapped with 2 fingers to pause.
be working on a cookbook.
I can resume, I can pause with the magic tap. The video is down at the bottom right.
Beef enchiladas vertical line. Easy enchilada sauce recipe vertical line.
And if I double tap it, it expands it again, brings it back up to the full screen or the larger screen view. Now, as I was saying, that was a demo to show you it's really a good idea to pause your videos before you collapse them. And that way you won't have that happen. Certain videos will tell you that they're made for kids and they won't background play. So when you collapse the video, you'll get a message saying videos made for kids will not play in the background. Just double tap on that right where it says it. Don't look for an OK button. Don't look for a dismiss button. Just double tap right where it says videos made for kids won't play in the background. Just double tap that phrasing and it instantly brings you back to your results with the video collapsed. Okay, so some of these little tidbits you have to know because otherwise you get into this, what did I do? How do I get out of it? Well, sometimes you just double tap what it says. Now, I'd like to show you another one so we can rehash that ad thing. The ad controls are going to be on the bottom, like, again, use the side of the, whatever, I like it in landscape, use then what is your left-hand side, which is really the bottom of the iPad if it's charge port to the left, or the top of the iPad if it's charge port to the right. And it's the left-hand side. So go down this time. Remember before we were like between the 2 ridges of the iPad Air? That'd probably be on a 9th generation right where the home button is. This time we're going to go down below the 2nd ridge, which would be just sort of down below the home button or to the right of the home button, depending on what way it's facing. And then you look on the screen and you'll find the ad options and you keep swiping to the left until it either says video will play after ad, or it may say a time it's counting down. You can literally swipe left and right and hear a count 5, 4, 3, 2, and it'll eventually say skip ad. It'll probably say selected skip ad. But let me go back to my, let me just check the time and make sure we're not going crazy here. Okay, well, we're going to show you another one. And I'll do a review of
beef enchiladas, chicken, beef enchilada back button.
I gotta go back because I was on the
how to make homemade enchiladas button.
Search
Heading,
results.
Back.
Let's go back and do another search now. Single tap near the top.
Back. How to enchilada red back.
Back
button,
again.
Back.
Here we go.
Cast.
I think
button,
I did it the first time.
Search button.
Or I was just further in than I thought. Let's
search dimmed.
Let's do an iPad Air review.
Cap high. Kappa P A D space A I O F I F T H space R E V I E W
and search. Again, a right-hand side. 5
best Apple iPads 2022. There's one clear winner. Compare the best iPad Pro.
Swipe to the left to make sure that's really the first result.
Visit site button.
Yeah, it is. Those are like probably ads. You can buy the iPad here and stuff. Keep going to the right.
5 action menu.
That's not even a video.
Visit site. Apple action menu. Visits 5 best action. Is it actually iPad Air M1 review?
There.
Don't choose wrong. Is it actually better? iPad Air M1 5th gen. Top features, tips and tricks. 3 exclamation marks. 8 minutes. 33 seconds. Go to channel. Hale's World. 40K views. 2 weeks ago. Play video button. M1 iPad Air 5 1 month later. Essentially a perfect tablet. 10 minutes, 41 seconds. Boot to
Okay,
channel,
so
the Everyday Dad.
we'll double tap on that.
43K
And
views.
again, hopefully that there will be an ad and I can start tapping. I'm going to tap the lower, near the bottom on the left-hand side, start swiping left until I find out whether I can skip the ad.
Playing
Gillette
advertised
ads
video
with
player.
exfoliating
M1 added video will play after ad.
Easy as washing your face.
Yeah, that one's not going to...
Playing advertised
Yeah.
video like this. M1 ad full screen. Ad in 2.
Yep.
Ad 1. Ad now selected.
There.
Skip ad button.
Skip ad.
Includes
This
paid
is the
promotion
brand
full
new
screen.
M1 iPad Air, and I've been using it for the past month pretty much every single day. So how's it holding up? Let's find out. And while we're finding out, I'd like to thank today's sponsor, Squarespace. First up, I have to say
Tracking
the
it.
overall
Pause
look of this
button.
year's model is incredible. I really
Play.
Okay, so I'll like that.
7 full screen. M1 expand. Like this video. Selected. Like this video along.
I'll watch it later. Okay, now, if I want, I should collapse it.
Video. Collapse video.
Go back because I'm in a search result.
iPad Air 5 back button. Back.
There.
Cast
Yeah.
button.
All right. So if I want to later on come back to something, I can go down here to the bottom in my library.
Subscription. Create library. Cat.
On the left-hand side are my playlists or other choices, and on the right are the actual videos within them. Let's look on the left.
Selected. History button. Your account button.
Okay.
Selected. History button. Your videos button. Downloads. No videos. Your movies and shows button. Watch later button. Playlists. Recently added. Heading.
And here's a list of playlists.
New playlist button.
There is where you can create a new playlist.
Liked videos. 172 videos.
There's all my liked videos.
iPad for all computing 2000. The TTG. iPad for all. TTG. The TTG. Search watch history. Text field.
I can search my watch history. If I reach up and touch the right-hand side,
Apple Music. Search watch history. Text field.
I'm already there, and you can see
Apple Music Event 2007. The iPod. Steve Jobs. Apple Special Event. Apple Notes. Become how to create tutorial using Clips app on Apple Notes. Become a power user and
I suspect that the videos I just watched may not show up in the video watch history because I didn't watch them long enough, or maybe it'll take me closing the app and coming back into it. But I'm sure they're in liked videos if I go over here.
iPad for all liked videos. Liked videos. 100 liked videos. Private playlist. The tech juggernaut. Shuffle play button.
You can shuffle play,
Play all button.
play all.
M1 iPad Air 5 1 month later. Beef enchiladas vertical line. How does GarageBand for iPad work tutorial
Yep,
for
those are the three videos we just watched a moment or two of in a little clip in this demonstration. The other thing I want to show you at the bottom of the screen is my subscriptions.
TTG Family
So
Top.
you know how to subscribe to somebody, but now how do you access just their videos? So if I go down to the bottom,
Create subscriptions tab.
it's a tab. I tap
Cast button.
subscriptions. On the left-hand side, I've got my list of channels to which I am subscribed,
Selected all channels button.
beginning with all channels.
Most relevant.
You can change it.
Collapse panel.
Okay.
Button. Most relevant.
But-
selected all channels.
When that is selected, I will just see everybody. But if I keep swiping right,
Jesse Duplantis Ministries, the unofficial Apple Keynote channel, Mentor Pilot, Creflo Dollar Ministries, Apple button, Digital Trends, Smart Home Solver, The Everyday Dad, Apple Insider, K Digital Studio, iJustine, Stir It Up, Talos of Tech, Noah Herman, Kenneth Copeland Ministries, Daily Tech, Apple Support, Max Tech, Techthusiasm,
you get the idea. So if I want to see what Trainer Cliff's been up to on Stir It Up,
Talos, Stir It Up, Stir It Up,
I select it.
Selected, Stir It Up,
I lift my hand. I come to the right. And let's try containers.
Actions,
So you know.
activate, drag item, active, vertic padding, containers, spring swing sports, current setting is personal.
Yeah, that seems to work. It takes you directly to the video, the first video, but to the left of it
Collapse panel.
is something
Stir it, vertical, stir it up, heading, view channel, button.
you can view his channel.
Unsubscribes from this channel.
I can unsubscribe,
Current setting is personalized notifications.
and I can
Tap to change your notification setting for Stir It Up.
I can adjust my notification settings for his channel. Now, to the right,
Spring Swing Sports, Stir It Up. 4 views, 3 days ago, Stir It Up. 38 minutes, 45 seconds. Faith in the Formula, Stir It Up. Preach to Teach, by Word, Stir It Up. NBA Playoff Preview, Audio Editing Workshop April 2022 session, Stir It Up. 30 views, 3 weeks ago, Stir It Up. 45 minutes.
and if I want to see that, just double tap.
Video player.
Welcome to audio editing workshop.
Like this video
April
was
edition.
selected. Like the audio.
Let's join the discussion. Already in progress.
And I just liked it. Again, we can adjust. We can adjust the the position of where we are in the video and the time of the video down here on the left-hand side.
Audio editing workshop expand is selected. Like the dislikes. Audio editing full screen button.
Back to the left.
20 seconds elapsed. Track position. 20 seconds of 45 minutes.
There you
Adjust
go.
of 20
So,
seconds elapsed of track
we can
position.
adjust the time
20
there.
seconds of 45 minutes. Adjustable.
And when we're done, we can just
Video. Collapse video.
collapse video. I'm going to put this back to all channels.
The unofficial Apple Keynote channel button.
3-finger swipe down. I don't need to, I guess.
Jesse Duplantis. All channels. All channels.
All right, and then the last thing I'd like to show you is the Create tab down at the bottom.
Create tab.
If you double
3
tap
to
this-
5. Video.
Okay,
Cancel.
the best way to approach this, my friends, is after you've already created a video and saved it not to files, but to your video library. In other words, your photo library, possibly your iCloud photo library. If it's really large, you may want to delete it from your iCloud photos after you upload it. But right now, you've got it in your photo library. What do? Start at the top left.
Cancel. Record button.
We can record right from within this app, and that's fine. We can upload what we record, post it immediately.
Go live button.
Go live is rather restricted on mobile, unfortunately, but
Video. 7 minutes 3 seconds. Created May 6th, 2022 at 6:12 p.m. Button.
there's
a
a-
photo containing a screenshot and a credit card.
there's a video that I have in my photo library, and here,
Video.
another one.
7 minutes. Video. 2 minutes. Video. 7 seconds. Video. 1 hour 9 minutes. Created April 29th, 2022 at 4:18 a.m. Button. A quote in white text on a gray background. Visit us. Video. 2 minutes 48 seconds.
All right, so any of these videos that I want to upload, I double tap, and what I'm going to get then is I'm going to get an option. It's going to start playing the video, okay? There's also trim options there, but we're not going to worry about that. It's going to start playing the video. What I then want you to do is do a 4-finger single tap near the top left of your iPad screen and just start swiping to the right where you will find a next button. Double tap next and begin to fill out all the information. Double tap on title and fill it out. Double tap on double tap on description and fill it out, but you have to, description actually opens another screen, so then you have to double tap in the edit field and type your description, then swipe left to the back button. Now you're back on the video info again, title, description, choose if it's a public video, private, unlisted, choose what playlist, if any, it's going to be uploaded to. You know how to make playlists now. When you make one, you can decide if it's a public playlist or otherwise. All right, so you decide if it's going to be any playlist. You also have the option there to choose. There's a button that allows you to choose several different things in it. It has the location, the type of video, as I said, public, private, or unlisted, and it has a place where you can decide, do you want it uploaded right now or do you want to schedule it to upload later, to show up later? And then there's also, once you finish all that, you hit the next button. There's one more screen. You have to say, is this video for kids? Yes or no. You hit no or yes, and then you swipe to the right over to upload video. And it just uploads in the background. You can do other things on your iPad, your device. And that it is that simple to upload. So these videos we made in Clips and iMovie, for example, you could easily be uploading them now. Now you know how to do it enough that you could start to play around and figure it out. Now, having said that, I'm going to tell you that Trainer Cliff and I are going to be posting a video specifically about YouTube that is entirely separate from this iPad training. And we're going to show you that for everybody on our channel, on our sites and our channels and everything. And it'll focus not only on iPad, but Apple TV, iPhone, and everywhere you might want to use YouTube. So we'll get even more extensive in it. be sure you're subscribed, like, subscribe, and hit the bell so that you don't miss that, because that's really, really important. All right, so, and make sure you subscribe to our newsletter, all that stuff. But if you're joining us in Zoom, please don't go away. It's Q&A time with the trainers. We're going to hear from the other trainers, and we're going to take your questions. And you, I'm sure, are going to have some great questions. I know you will. We want to hear them. All right, so please don't go away. Just take a couple of minutes, get a drink and a snack, stretch your legs, whatever, but don't go away. Now, if you're on YouTube, this concludes the video for today. So don't forget one more time to like, subscribe, and hit the bell. And again, my friends, I really, really do want to thank you for joining us, because I hope this has been a blessing to you. I hope it's meant a lot for you. And we are going to see you next time on Monday. So God bless you. Thanks so much for joining us. This has been iPad for All, computing from
TJ.
Stay tuned, folks. Don't leave Zoom. Take care, everybody.
Travel down the road and back again. Your heart is true. You're a